Hello, you're listening to the Personal Dog Training Calls with Clients podcast, episode 15. In this episode, a client that has become recently handicapped and is in a mobile scooter is calling me to deal with his year-old 90-pound Weimaraner that him and his wife can't control. We did get a chance to work with this client. It was very successful, and you'll hear at the end how we did, and be on the lookout for other updates regarding Tristan.
I wanted to inquire about your service. I've had dogs my whole life, and I've never had to reach out to professional training.
Okay.
And I'm 50 years old, and my first dog I was 9, Shetland sheepdog named Rex. He was great. My next dog was a yellow lab pitty mix named Oliver. And then we had a black lab named Jack, and Sophie and Jack were my wife's first 2 dogs. She's always been a little aloof of dogs, not big on them, but fell in love with them once I introduced, what a dog relationship is all about, and she can't live without them now. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a pretty severe disease, and last year it finally started to kick in, and so I had to retire early, go on disability. So my positioning is, this is the first time I'm raising a dog when I'm non-ambulatory in a mobility scooter.
Okay.
Okay. And I didn't think it would be that challenging, but it is, to be honest with you.
No, I take people as they are because they're attached to the dogs. I want to help dogs.
Right.
So, and I don't know, how did you hear about me?
I did a Google search, and you had great reviews, and I'd rather have a personal relationship and not do big box stores.
Exactly.
And so after doing that and a little research, you're the only person I've called this morning.
You have mobility issues?
Yeah, I have mobility issues.
Okay.
So I have what's called spinal cerebellum ataxia. It's a hereditary disease. It's a slow deterioration of the cerebellum to the spinal cord.
Okay.
So my nerves don't always fire all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my leg, it's like somebody flipping a light switch on and off. My right leg just says, I'm not working right now.
Yeah.
Boom, you're on the floor. I've never had a Weimaraner breed. I've had hunting and herding breeds, right? But I've never had a Weimaraner. And he is very unique. And I love his quirkiness. And, and I'm okay with that. Let me digress and finish where I was going to tell you where the big need is.
Okay.
He listens to me when he wants to. I mean, he's only a year old, so he's still kind of got that puppy, and part of it's stubbornness, too, just to be honest, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to come inside right now, even though you're telling me to.
Totally.
That can come down the road. Can't get him to stop jumping on her when she comes home from work. I can't get, she can't control him.
Okay.
And it's getting to the point, my wife is only 5'2". This dog is 80 pounds at a year old, right?
Yep.
And when he stands up and jumps on her, he's almost as tall as her when he hits her in the shoulder. And it's not that. And she's just getting used to it. And she loves dogs. And I was like, dude, do we just need to say this one doesn't work and take our time with Sophie until we say goodbye to her and then just relax? And when I said that, my wife just started bawling. So she is so attached to Tristan that I can't do that to her.
It lines up with exactly what I need to teach everybody anyway. Do you know the one thing, the first thing I teach is boundaries? I don't teach stay, I teach personal boundaries, no jumping command. I can show you stuff, but it's the owners, and I'll help you understand the right tools. Instead of pointing fingers, we'll just all be on the same page.
That's kind of where I want to get. I don't want to have to worry. He loves to steal food, and that's a behavioral thing on his side. But the other side is my wife gets distracted and she quits paying attention. I just need a well-behaved dog so I don't have to worry.
You're just like everybody else. You're just like everybody I talk to, and just like me. You want a dog that functions and does the things you want it to.
Exactly.
It's a quality of life.
I want to take some of the anxiety about it's 4 o'clock. Mom's getting ready to come home. And you kind of got to ramp yourself up for the first 2 hours that she's home.
Boundaries, yes. The minute that you come in, the dog's going to have a leash on it. You're going to pick the leash up in the early stages and use the leash to get a boundary. Hey, get off me, I love you, but no. And then you'll put the dog in a place command. Hey, here's your place command. Then the dog comes off place command. You still can't jump all over me and follow me constantly, so we'll teach you a non-following command as well. So you need three different... I teach 9 behavior-based commands. You need 3 of those commands desperately, in your life today. And these dogs are so smart. So when you're cooking dinner, the dog can be in a place command. Or you can create a boundary and the dog is sitting and laying right past the
boundary.
Yes.
Right.
You walk past the dog goes to follow you. You go, and it doesn't follow you. This is not stay command. Stay, sit will never get the behavior change. But
you're reading my mail right now.
Yes.
You are right on point with what I need, because I'm not worried about the sit,
no,
down,
I'm not either.
Beg, shake. I don't care about
You
that.
need waiting behavior. You need waiting behavior. You need relaxed behavior, and you need boundaries. You never hear anything about that in dog training anywhere. So yeah, you found a little local dog trainer, but I have a huge message for the entire country, which is forget about all this other bullshit. Everything in dog training, just drop it all and learn what I'm teaching only. It's less. It's less stuff. You're going to learn less from me than all that.
My wife has been coming home with these, dog training flyers from like the farmer's market or pet. However, here's what you don't understand. You're going to have to put him on a leash. He's been on a leash only when you give him a bath in the backyard. He's never been on a walk through the neighborhood. He's going to freak the hell out. And then you're going to be doing a public dog training with 10 to 15 other dogs in the middle of a Petco. It's not going to be conducive.
Well, again, you did the right research.
Yeah, I think you figured this out through our conversation. I just want a dog that I don't have to stress out about. There's enough stress being a pet owner.
Exactly.
When it's added to it of, I got to sit in my scooter in between the living room and the kitchen to watch the evening news so he doesn't screw with my wife while he's eating, because my wife doesn't know how to control. Those are the things I'm trying to adhere. So place would be huge, right?
Yep.
For me.
Yep.
This is your place. You are in this geo fence right now until I tell you to leave.
Yep.
And then just the puppyhood, he just hit a year, so he knows his name, but he doesn't always respond just because he's so smart, he's stubborn.
He's a boy male dog that hasn't had very, specific behavioral training. And it's dog's a dog.
It's been hard for me to be that.
Yep.
This is an oxymoron, but it's been hard for me to be that gentle authoritarian, even though I am the authoritarian. He listens to me more than anybody else. But I can't get up and walk across the room, right? So I got to get up, get in my scooter, and by the time I start going, he goes, "You ain't catching me." It's like,
exactly, and it's going to become more of a. You're 50 years old. You've gone through this medical thing. Sound like you were a very physical man, and your brain is still computing that again. It's going to be a lot more safety concerns coming up if we don't deal with this, let alone the annoyance factor. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I want to help you because if you look at my YouTube, I've worked with tons of people that are disabled, extremely disabled, or paralyzed, or strokes, or we're going to factor in what the dog needs to learn, but then make adjustments for whatever I see.
Right. With Tristan, it's been good. He doesn't get in the way of my scooter because he's only known me in the scooter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And with Jack, my old Black English Lab, we put down the July before last in 2003. With Jack, he was still alive when I rolled into the scooter, and that was a huge adjustment for him. He could not figure it out.
Yeah, I bet.
So when I got in my scooter, he'd just go lay down in the corner and be like, "I'll wait till you're done, Pops. I don't like that thing."
Exactly. Yeah, that can happen.
So it's been for me, it's not a prideful thing, but I've never needed someone to assist me with training, and I love my wife to death, but she's got that Disneyland voice. The dog doesn't take her serious.
It's good to learn from somebody you actually like or you can have a friendship with, especially, since you're, again, not prideful, but at the same time, you're going through a transition. That's the way life works.
I'm going through a transition, and to be honest with you,
I
don't know if you're married. I don't know if you're married or not. But
I was.
Yeah, well, then you'll understand my statement. There are certain parents and there are certain spouses, you just can't teach them stuff because you have that relationship already there. And there's just, like my mom couldn't teach me to drive. My dad had to, right?
Well, it's a messenger, It's a messenger thing. Right. And then I literally ran into, I was at my vet that refers me a lot, and I ran into the personal assistant of one of my clients. So I work with a lot of very wealthy clients. And this personal assistant, every time I see him, he complains about how difficult his clients are. And I work with them and train their dog. And I said, I know. You saw me. I don't fight with anybody. And again, my job is to present and to encourage and to give you the right information to act on. And that's it. And present. Okay. But again, you'll know for sure you'll be able to say once and for all, you either do this or you get what you get.
Right.
Yeah. So
I saw on your website, it said that you do in-home and at your home. Is that correct?
yeah, I primarily come to you guys to start and work with you in your home. That's kind of the whole difference in what I do. But then we graduate. If your dog needs to be exposed to the world, we go out and do field trips in the real world and walk around the neighborhood or go somewhere public. Your dog should learn and go through a socialization process with other dogs. I recommend you do that with me and not do it randomly or through doggy daycare or dog parks. So Tristan needs to meet other dogs and learn to socialize. You come over to my house. It's just a house. Nowhere at my house is it designed for dog training, okay? I don't have the backyard for dog training or a garage for dog training. It's a house. And I have dogs come and they live and they train in a normal household. So your dog comes over and hangs out with dogs that have trained with me in the past. I have about 36 dogs that come every vacation. And so we always have extra dogs here. I do boarding on the side with my clients. So we have all these great dogs for you to socialize with.
Good. Yeah. That would be awesome. I mean, back when I was ambulatory, my previous dogs were very, very socialized. But over the last few years, I've never been a fan of the dog park or this or that or what have you.
Sure.
But I'm a fan of being able to take them up around the corner to Einstein's and sit on the patio with a book and a cup of coffee and have them hang out with me.
Totally.
I would worry about Tristan not being trained up enough to drop her off. Plus, we're still trying to figure out how to travel with this scooter. Can we fly?
Sure.
It? Do we have to drive every? So I'm learning as I go a new lifestyle, like
Totally.
you mentioned previously. I mean, dude, you don't even wonder how many times we've had to reorganize the refrigerator, the pantry, the bowls, the plates, this, that. Because, it was like the scene from Friday. It's like, you got Kool-Aid but no sugar. I get milk, but I couldn't get the cereal.
Interesting.
It's like,
Yeah.
So I'm learning a new lifestyle on top of it. So that's probably taken away some of my experience. And I'm not a dog trainer. I've just always been good with dogs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And
you're the dog man.
I made my match at 50, and I don't know if it's because of my condition or his personality or his breed or his
hey, it doesn't matter. I'm here to support you 100%, Do you want to look at schedules and try to figure out when would work for us to try to get together? I did get to work with this client and his dog named Tristan, and we had great success. You'll be able to see on other platforms that we taught Tristan to follow the mobile scooter and walk at its side. We taught him the place command, how to stop jumping, and we started to expose him to the outside world as well. Can't thank you enough for listening to the Personal Dog Training Calls with Clients podcast, episode 15. This one is regarding a recently handicapped owner who needs specialized help.